Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. I happen to be in London and I thought, why not? Let's just pass by Fulham and do a little video just talking about all of the events that have happened recently, everything that we haven't spoken about so far. I hope you're all doing very well. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Not long until we start playing Premier League football. So let me know in the comments how you're feeling about Chelsea. I think we can all agree it's been a very good transfer window. And I think we can all agree it's probably going to get even better. Not many more incoming. There are obviously a few we're going to speak about. Xavi Simons, Garnacho is another name that's being thrown about as well. Got to speak about them. But I think a big highlight now is the outgoings and players that, quite frankly, need to leave, whether it's just for their career or from Chelsea side as well. We've obviously got to try and raise some funds because we have spent a decent amount of money. Now, having said that, let's not sit here and act like we haven't sold already. We've sold a number of players and we've managed to get pretty good money for a lot of those players as well. If you look at the sale of Madueke, big thumbs up there. Broha to Burnley, looks like it's about 20 million. That's fantastic. Petrovic, you made 11 million. Now you can dispute whether it was the right decision, but you've still made some profit there. And there's a number of other players that could be leaving as well. But one of the big surprises that we're hearing is that Tyrique George, there's a concrete possibility that he can leave Chelsea and that he actually wants to leave Chelsea. Respectfully, not in a nasty way like Garnacho is with Man United. We'll get on to Garnacho in a second, but he wants to go to a club where he's valued, where he feels like he's actually going to be a central part of the project, or just in plain English, he wants to go somewhere where he can get game time. And you have to ask yourself the question as well, and I'm sure he's asked this question, which is why we're in this situation. If you're Tyrique George, do you honestly believe that you're going to get regular game time this season at Chelsea, or even more game time than he had last season? And I think we can all agree the answer is probably no. And that's not because he's got worse, because he's got better. It's because everything around the club has got better in terms of the players that we've brought in and just the situation we find ourselves in. I think if we would have lost earlier in the Club World Cup and maybe not have been able to attract some of the players that we have, then maybe there would be a chance for George to remain a part of this team. And I like George. I think he's an up-and-coming talent. I think he's a good player. I don't see the same potential with him that I saw in players like Loftus-Cheek or Callum Hudson-Odoi when they were breaking through. I don't see that kind of calibre of player. But I see a player who could be a good squad player and still make an impact at the club. And he has had some good moments, especially Fulham away last year. Remember, we won that game. That was such a key match in our campaign to get us back to winning ways after a pretty poor spell. So, listen, as much as I like... the wasps by the screen. As much as I like Tyrique George, I understand the decision. I respect the decision, if that is what it's come to. I mean, nobody's actually saying it's going to happen. It's just concrete, right? So I'll just tell you what Fabrizio's come out and said. He said, RB Leipzig has asked Chelsea about Tyrique George. However, it's a separate topic from Xavi Simons, and it's not the same deal. Yeah, and Fabrizio did say he wants to leave Chelsea this month. So, sorry, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, he wants to leave Chelsea this month with reduced game time. A permanent move is possible, but Chelsea prefer to keep George but accept his desire for regular football. So there's a number of clubs in the Bundesliga that apparently are interested. RB Leipzig's the one that we're hearing. How much would you value Tyrique George at? Me personally, I would value him around 15 to 25 million. That's a realistic price tag. But then I guess you've got to compare it to other transfers as well. I think he's a better player than Broha. I think he offers more than Broha. He's not injured all the time. He's up and coming. He's got potential. He could be a really, really good player. So if Broha was about 20 million, then you're looking at sort of the 25 million mark at least for a player like Tyrique George, but whether any club is actually going to go out and spend that money is something totally different. But when you look at the options we have, we won't struggle without him. We won't have any problems. Imagine Javi Simmons comes in. You've got Estevao, you've got Palmer, you've got Neto, you've got Gittins who's come in, you've got João Pedro who can also play out wide. We've certainly got options. So let's not sit here and act like we're in the depths and everything's going to change if Tyrique George leaves the club. It's not like that. But he's a player that I like, and I'm sure most Chelsea fans watching probably like as well. But we have to respect his decision. Now, moving on to a player where there seems to be a lot less respect and a lot more controversy when we talk about him is Alejandro Garnacho. Now, this guy is, quite frankly, a player that I think gets a lot more criticism than he deserves, but I do think he deserves some of the criticism he gets, right? I think it was really disrespectful what he did wearing the Aston Villa top as a Manchester United fan, as a player. And I totally get where Manchester United fans are with Garnacho, but we're not Manchester United guys, we're Chelsea. And honestly, I'm not sitting here saying welcome the guy with open arms, but all of this hashtag no to Garnacho nonsense, I'm not on that programme. I don't believe in that way of approaching this deal because, quite frankly, we could get a bargain for this guy. And if you're saying no to Garnacho, what price are you saying no to? Are you saying no to 60? Are you saying no to 50? Are you saying no to 40 million? Are you saying no to 30 million? Right? Because if you're telling me that we can get Alejandro Garnacho for 30 million, I'm saying yes. I'm saying thumbs up. That's not an issue for me. You telling me that if we sign Garnacho for £30 million, we're going to lose money on that transfer? Absolutely not. You put him on a 7-year contract, you keep him. If you can't get 30 million for him straight away, you loan him out for 5 million and you repeat the process, you repeat the cycle. And that's what Chelsea did with Vega in order to basically get more money and they could still get the transfer fee later down the line. That's what we also did with João Felix. So if there's players that come in and don't perform and they don't fit into what we're doing, we can move them on. But let's be sensible here. I don't want to sign players for £40 million who I can't resell for more. And I know that if we take that number down and go down to, let's just say 30, even 35, although I'd rather keep it at 30, not too much higher, Garnacho's a genuine investment that works from a financial point of view. And when we look at the footballing side, I mean, we can talk about that as well. Look at what this kid is working with at Manchester United. He has got worse this season than he was last season. He was better under Erik ten Hag. I really did believe that he was actually a decent player under ten Hag. I think Amram, for whatever reason, something's gone horribly wrong there. There's no real chemistry between the two. But the club, Manchester United, the position they're in, the amount of bad press they have, the ownership, everything about that club is toxic. It's a horrible environment for any young player. Forget young players, just players in general. And Chelsea are now in a position. We've won the Conference League, the Club World Cup. We are on the up. We've got Champions League football. We've got a squad of young, up-and-coming players. And you're telling me that our environment would be worse for a player like Garnacho than Manchester United? Absolutely not. Everyone knows that's not the case. So then, how could he not play better for us than he has been for them? I don't see that. If he is worth 30 million, 40 million at this stage in his career, the way he's playing, imagine if he goes out and scores 10, 15 goals in a Premier League campaign and let's just say gets 7, 8, 9 assists. Like, his value is going to increase dramatically. So I just don't see this as a particularly risky transfer if you're spending the right kind of money. But on top of that, how does it make us worse? It doesn't make us worse. And even if it didn't work, you just get rid of him. It's easy. When you have depth, when you have quality, when you have options, you're able to do that. Do we remember when Thomas Tuchel was our manager? We had the likes of Pulisic, Ziyech, all complaining about not getting game time. But we had other players that were performing. So we were in a position where it didn't matter if they were happy or not because we were still able to go out and produce the goods. And when they did feature, sometimes they did well, sometimes they didn't. Ultimately, Chelsea is a club where you have to perform regularly. If you don't, then why would we continue to put our faith in you? This ultimately, at Chelsea Football Club, has been a win now club for a long time. And I suppose where a lot of people like myself got very angry is we went through a very difficult period of a couple of years not winning anything. And now we've come off the back of basically bouncing back from the depth of Graham Potter and obviously the season with Pochettino. And we can look at this club in a totally different light. And we have to say that it's not about bringing back the standards. The standards have been brought back in a lot of ways, but it's about maintaining those standards. So how does Garnacho make us worse? I don't think he does. Okay, if players get injured, you need someone to fill in. If he's good enough, he's good enough. So for me, anything around the £30 million mark is a good deal for Garnacho. But once you start talking about 40, 45 million, I think that you're stretching the mark. And that's where I don't agree with it. The same as Jamie Gittins. I thought Jamie Gittins for 45 million, that would have been a nice deal. For 55, we overpaid. But Chelsea have had some deals where we've done really, really well, like the lap. So, listen, who am I to complain ultimately when the majority of the business that we wanted Chelsea to get done in terms of the positions and the depth that we needed, we've done that. We got wingers, we got midfielders, we got a defender in Hato. We got 2 strikers. Why are we sat here complaining about a player like Garnacho? So I really think that we need to have a think about that one. And I'm not sitting here saying that I really, really want him, but I wouldn't have a problem with Chelsea bringing him in. I really wouldn't. I'd be quite happy to bring him in, and I think he'd improve the squad. And ultimately, it's about Man United more than us, because I think that if we put in a bid, United need to suck it up and realise they messed up in January. They should have accepted the deal from Napoli, which was quite a good deal at the time. I think it was about 45, 50 million. And that's how it is. What else have we got? Joel Hato is now training at the training ground. So big up to Joel Hato. I think this is going to be a great signing, guys. £37 million, that was a steal. He is going to be a real asset for Chelsea. Not necessarily starting every week, but you're not downgrading with bringing in a captain of Ajax who's 19 years old, who can play as a centre-back, as a left-back. That's great business and a great price. We've taken advantage of Ajax there. Mark Guiu's flight to Sunderland was postponed today, but that doesn't mean the deal is off. The agreement is still in place, and there is an expectation that the striker will finalise his move to Sunderland on loan for the season. I will say that I think that's a good move for Mark Guiu. Ultimately, he just needs game time. He needs some trust. He needs some consistency. I don't think Sunderland have much better to offer, so they're going to have to trust Mark Guiu. But yeah, he's actually a much bigger and stronger player in person than when you watch him on the telly. I don't know if any of you have actually gone to the games, you would have seen that. But I think that he can do quite well at Sunderland. Honestly, if he gets a run out, I'd be interested to see how he does in that team. But very difficult to say when you're at a newly promoted side. I think that's like anything, right? You could be the best player in the world. If your teammates are rubbish, I think it's difficult, isn't it? So we'll have to see what happens there. Nicholas Jackson is not a player Chelsea are actively trying to sell, but if they get a good proposal, he can leave in August. It's a concrete possibility, according to Fabrizio Romano. Again, I am not in the Jackson out side. That's not my side. My argument has always been the same. If you're going to sell Nicholas Jackson, it is for no other reason than the fact that you are going to get more money for him than you would get for a player like Noli Madueke. And if that amount is 55 million, which is 3 million more than we sold Madueke for, I don't have a problem with it. All right, would I like 60 or 65? Absolutely. Seems like clubs like Newcastle and Manchester United are desperate anyway, so maybe we can dictate a higher price just because they're desperate. And you can ask for 70 million, which, by the way, would be some of the best business I've ever seen in terms of just the way we've been able to buy players cheap and sell them on. And this could, if we manage to do that, like we've already given clubs a lesson in how to sell players. I saw an article about how Tottenham have only sold, 6 players for more than sort of 15 million since 2019 or something, or is it 10 players? And you look at what Chelsea have been able to achieve in this campaign. Like, we are, oh, it's incredible. It's exceptional. And I hope that the fact that we're able to make so much money off of these sales as well, I hope it can help match-going fans, any fans that are going to the games, to hopefully keep the match day experience a little bit cheaper. That's always been a hope of mine, but I doubt it. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But listen, appreciate everyone watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I've said. Do you think that it's the right decision for Tyrique George to leave Chelsea? How much would you sell him for? What's your thoughts on Garnacho? And how do you feel about the potential sale of Nicholas Jackson, as well as the loan deal for Mark Guiu and everything else, guys? All the best, guys. Catch up very soon.